Hi, here I am again. Probably the last video for this course. Isn't that exciting? Okay, I wanted to say a few words about the format of the exam. I've posted the exam questions and you've got a bit of time to submit your answers. First of all, you have to answer 3 questions in total. Everyone has to answer the common question, the first one based on a quote, and then you pick 2 out of the list of 5 essay questions. The reason I'm stressing this is that every time this exam runs, there's 1 or 2 people who only answer 1 of the 5 questions in the second part, and they end up failing the exam and sometimes the course as a result. So make sure you have 3 answers. You can send them all in one file, which is my preferred way, or if you feel like it, you can send 3 separate files. Whatever works for you. Most people send them all in one file. Just mark down that you're answering the common question and then put the number of the question you are answering of the 2 that you must answer from the list. Remember to use evidence to back up your ideas. You're writing mini essays, here's what you're doing. The common question is a bit more free form, but you should still back up everything you say with some kind of evidence from the course notes. You can, if you wish, or you may, if you wish, use outside sources, but you don't have to. If you do, you have to cite them so that I can find them to make sure that you actually did read them and understand them, which is sometimes a problem. But all you need are the course notes, really, to provide an answer. In terms of length, I'd say about 250 words for the common question, 200 to 300 words, shall we say. That's roughly, if you were writing in an examination booklet, that would be roughly 1 full page, double-spaced, and maybe going over a bit onto a second page. For the essay questions, you need about double that. So you'd need 300 to 500 words, or roughly, 2 to 5 pages in an examination booklet, the rough equivalent. But being on a computer, it's best to do it by words, so 300 to 500 words for each of the 2 essay questions that you answer. You should answer in essay format. That is, your first paragraph should give a kind of idea of how you're going to answer the question. For example, if you're talking about liberalism in Mexico, you would start by giving an idea of what you think the overall impact was in your introductory paragraph, and then present evidence that backs up this idea, what the overall impact was, and then at the end tie it all together in a summary paragraph. That, I think, covers everything. Double-spaced, 12 or 14-point font. It doesn't really matter. I prefer a bigger font simply because my eyes start to close after I've read a lot of answers. And it's just easier to read a bigger font because it's not based on, you can use 1 word on a page if you want, because it has to do with how many words you use to answer each question, not how many pages it appears on the screen. But 12 or 14-point font is usual, and it's pretty good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say before I wish you all good luck. Some of you know roughly how you're doing in the course right now, and for some of you the final exam will be your salvation, to use a religious term, and for some of you it will just nail it down for you, how you've been going. But please remember to answer 3 questions in total. Otherwise, I've seen people who had really good term marks and ended up crashing and burning because they only answered 1 of the 5 in the second part. As I say, good luck, which is the other component of doing well in any examination. And you've got quite a bit of time to do the answers, so prepare them carefully. Okay. Have a good holiday season. For those of you who are Christians, Merry Christmas. And I'm afraid I don't have a list of all the other holidays that might be coming up, but have a good time off between terms. So a lot of you, I imagine, will be working. Okay. See ya. Thank you very much.